Of air. Hi. Hi everyone, am I live? Shoot me a little chat things if you can see me and hear me finally after weeks of missing in action. It says live, but I just want to make sure that I'm not talking to myself, as you know that I hate that. So if you can let me know that you can hear and see me, that would be great. Let me get the, can you bring the table closer, please? Let me get the computer closer. It feels like it's too far from me. Thank you. That's good. We are live. It says live, honey. Yeah? Okay. So also you can watch the email in case someone is calling. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start the teaching. I know there were quite a few of you that registered, so I'm not sure why I cannot hear any of you, but computer give me okay to start, so I will start. I apologize about last time, forgive me. We thought we were all ready to go and it just did not go live. There's a lot of problem with those streaming live videos, so yeah. I chose today's topic because it's appeared that recently a lot of people, including myself, frankly, are quite fascinated with the topic of UFO and therefore abductee and, you know, like taking over planet Earth. And I find more and more people that come my way in readings and events that ask me question about it. So over the years, obviously, I did channel a lot of information about UFO because once again, I have quite fascination for it myself. So I thought what I'll do today is I kind of touch few main subject like the abductee, like invasion of UFO if they're going to take over, and of course the unidentified spacecraft if they're real or not real. So I thought just touching those specific subject that I know most people are fascinated by, and I'll give you the information that I have studied over the years. Of course, there's so many other information about aliens and UFO that you don't know kind of what to listen to, but I'll present here the information that I gather over the years. And like with any spiritual topic that I teach, I always, my advice is to take what kind of feel right for you or what you intuitively feel that it's right, or just gather some more information and then you can get other information somewhere else. So, so right off the bat, I know that a lot of people have fear, whether it is because of Hollywoods and movies that they're going to there's going to be invasion and the aliens, going to take over our planet. So I actually channel over the years that it's pretty much organized and separate actually, which why it is we didn't make contact, which why is we do see the spaceships coming off the veil, if you will, but there is no really a connection. And the reason for that, as you know, over the years that I've heard that planet Earth is quite protected by a lot of different beings, and which why I use the phrase there is indeed a separation between our planet, meaning human souls planet on planet Earth, and perhaps other dimension that carry other aliens or other living being that's not human being, not us. So therefore, I did not channel invasion of aliens. Actually, the one that do observe planet Earth, whether it is with a spacecraft or a little bit abductees, which we're going to touch in a minute, are kind of fascinated by us. We are a little bit primitive to them and therefore not super interested to take over, because really what I got is their dimension is much more modern in technique and otherwise. So sometimes they are simply just observing us, whether it is their craft to an airplane. As you know that over the years, a lot of pilots say that they can see aircraft, or whether it is just observing us. There is also very specific state within the United States and within the world that is more active, meaning they're more fascinating to see how it is we are. A lot of them interested in our soil to see, but it's more matter of fascination with us, with planet Earth, than necessarily an invasion and take over because their planet is no more exist as the Hollywood movies let us to believe. So in that respect, I never really channeled that would be anything of dangerous that they're going to come take over. It's something they are actually quite fond of us. And some of this, first of all, it's important to bring up that there are, for my knowledge, there are many, many different kind of aliens, of course, with all kind of names, that like the reptilian and the one that we see with the big eyes, and one that look more like animals, one that look more kind of like hybrid. So there's a lot of them, but for the most part, which what I'm going to talk today, of course, in a little bit more general manner, is that they do not want to harm us. They do only observe us, fascinate with the fragile aspect of our physical body and our mind. And frankly, unfortunately, a lot of those aliens that do come to our planet and observe us, almost sad, if you will, as to how we fight. Honey, can you take her, please? Sorry, guys. As to how we fight with one another, and our war is, and you know, for you know, just kind of killing one another. So that's an aspect, our violent, if you will, that's an aspect that does fascinate some of the alien species that come and observe us. But again, it's come from observation, from gathering more knowledge, for the because we're so different than them, primitive, if you will, still obviously express violent, or ego is, if you will. So it's come from fascination, and not to invent planet Earth, take over in a negative way. Sometimes that's why a lot of times there's, of course, those stories that they do abduct people, which will touch the fascinated concept of abductees, that they abduct certain human beings, examine them, if you will, and just kind of bring them back. Now, unfortunately, for those specific incidents, the damage has been done, because obviously our fragile physical body cannot handle the spacecraft or whatever it is they take that's the specific person to be examined. So it's not for good, it's not for bad, it's just for their own, which I suppose kind of not super friendly, I guess. But the point is that they do not want to harm us. They do not want to take over. They're not negative, other than I would probably use the phrase curious for us. Now, probably not super fun to the abductee. Nonetheless, when people come to me fearful, I right away say that I did not hear. We have enough problem within our planet, so I do not think that would mix in with any other alien. As for abductees, you know, over the years, the fascination, the fascinating information that I got, that some human being or some family units, which kind of sometimes tend to repeat, if the abductee, the grandparents, they would go to the parents and then to the adult child, very rarely children, but adult child. So what I heard, that the souls of those human beings actually proactively agree to contribute to the knowledge of certain species of aliens. So therefore, some of the abductees around the world actually has an agreement, so other than, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, that it's more for curiosity or an accident where their aircraft would come across, you know, a private airplane, which was numerous story about it, and they would just freeze the airplane, take the pilot, examine it, and just send it back. So, but the proper abductees, the one that come back and, you know, bring information about what's happened in the alien spaceship and stuff, what I got, that this is something that was indeed pre-designed for the sake of another species, meaning the soul, not the person that obviously, you know, wouldn't sign it if it was up to them here on planet Earth. So there is somewhat of a cooperation between some of the cases of abductee that I found, between the human soul of that specific person and that specific alien species. Again, there is a lot of different alien species, whether it is contribute to do a hybrid, which does exist, of course, between some alien and human. Either way, that is not something that they kind of choose and pick, meaning the people that are abductees are very much chosen prior to entering planet Earth. So it is quite organized, for kind of lack of better word, if you will. So a lot of people don't find it comforting in a way that, honey, you think the chat is working? Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to find out.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to click anything? Okay, all right. So
it's the first time we've used the platform, so
yeah, this is we kind of change a webinar, so I want to make sure as to why I don't see any chat and or get any kind of interaction with you, the participant. But nonetheless, it says live, so I'm going to keep going, obviously. So again, sometimes the concept of abductee can be fearful to people, of course, specifically people that gather overly information about it. As you know, sometimes can happen if you are fascinated with certain topic, which I always advise to people, just get the information and maybe back off of it and go to about your life, which is, again, we have enough kind of challenges within our own life. Nonetheless, again, the family unit, meaning, as I said, grandparents and parents, usually those contracts, if you will, or the cooperation between that alien species, the specific species, and the abductee is indeed okayed by both parts. So what I'm trying to say, again, some of the abductees, because there's a lot of reason to abductees, but most of it, the one that we get information, you know, throughout the history of people that come back and express and kind of describe what's happened. So they don't just pluck people, those are the specific people that they pluck, which why sometimes they kind of put some sort of a device within the body that they can monitor that specific person. But nonetheless, it's not force, for lack of better word, because, you know, prior to what's happened, that human being indeed, or the soul indeed, agree to that for the sake of growth for both species. So that's really, I find, quite fascinating. And again, it's going to the direction of there is no, it doesn't just that happen. They don't come and inflict pain other than an accident of curiosity, as I said, which is very rare because everything, again, is quite organized. Nonetheless, obviously, it's not pleasant. So again, once again, information like that can or cannot soothe people because we do not know what we planned prior to enter planet Earth, in a way that we do not know how long of a life we signed for and what kind of a path we're going to have. Obviously, some of life has to do with us, but the main event was designed before we arrived and we don't know. So the abductee, as funny as it sounds, some of it was designed before, and then for those alien species, obviously know where to find those people, and since they got the okay, they do abduct those people and do what was pre-designed to do and then just give them back. So it's not matter of, so once again, the umbrella of the reason as to the interaction between us and them is more A, as we cover curiosity, and B, a little bit more learning as it's related, obviously, perhaps to their species, our species, or us together. But a lot of people also ask me if there are alien among us, if you will. And I did over the years channeled that there is such a thing as a hybrid, again, specific species of aliens, not all of them, because there's obviously unlimited amount of different species, obviously. But so there is such a thing as a hybrid, that there is mix. So I suppose if they walk around us, I suppose they are Don't know where, don't know who, although some people I can perhaps in my life say perhaps they were aliens. but the concept of that hybrid is again for the sake of both species, and although don't have too much information about it, some indeed live among us human beings around the globe, obviously. But again, nothing would be major enough to interfere or force or be negative. But again, anything that has to do with the hybrid between us and that specific species was indeed pre-designed to benefit both, obviously, humanity as well as them. So there is somewhat of cooperation, curiosity, and frankly, love and fascination that some of those aliens have for us. Some, because some are not friendly, are hostile in a way, but that's when I channel that, of course, the globe is planet Earth with all its inhabitants, us as well as animal and nature, obviously, is quite protected with a shield, if you will, of our ascended masters and the archangel and the nature angels. And there's a lot of beings that surround the globe and protect it to kind of get the separation between any hostile alien and us. As for hostile aliens, I suppose it's like with anything, you know, energies in the spirit world. Some are lovely and souls, and some are a little bit more hostile or negative, or entities, as I call it. So there is the good and bad in anything, in everything, and in the same way as well. When it's come to the aliens, some are a little bit more hostile. The one that I think interact with us are the one that are, once again, curious, have an agreement to study us as we study them, obviously, and it's something of contribute to humanity, and not harming it or forcing anything. I also have learned that some of the aliens that are able to breathe through the planet, if you will, do try to influence us for the best, collectively, that is, to continue on as a species, specifically now that in general, we're not obviously doing that good as a species, humanity that is. So they actually try to cheer us on, to continue to influence us. So most of what I've heard is, as you hear me saying, is positive and actually protecting us and watching over us. And I'm not talking about help from spirit like the archangels, and I'm talking actually certain species of aliens that do come here and try to influence us, because not only the fascinate of the fact that we're fighting in between us, which almost appear that they just don't get it. Why would that be? And frankly, they're right. Obviously, they also try to inspire us to move toward positivity. Anything there, honey? No, okay. So in that respect, if there's, and I have to share that, I have numerous people, but one specific person that come to me, over the years. She have an alien that actually follow her when she come to the reading. And that's where we both, obviously, since the age of, I think, maybe 4 or 5, she is aware of that specific alien that try to describe to me where is he from, or where it is from, and I wasn't quite able to know by the stars and the galaxy. Nonetheless, he also claimed that he does have a contract or an agreement with my client, if you will, to accompany her neutrally, without involving, obviously, to observe life on planet Earth and the fascination of her personality. So again, that was, which obviously was quite fascinating to me, to have someone that come to see me and have an alien in their life, or some sort of entity, very lovely, very calm, very almost like an educated or wise or smart. And again, the feeling that I got coming forward, that it was very, very neutral, and loved her very, very much, almost like a part of her team. And the teaching about my team is that group of spirit that accompany us. And although he did not include he was not involved, if you will, in her day-to-day decision, as sometimes our spirit guides do, meaning they advise us, certainly guardian angel watch over us. He was once again almost in the background, but very lovely, very loving, and I probably can say the phrase fascinating with the life of her on planet Earth. And the importance of that is, again, there was nothing forced. He didn't just happen to choose her. That was, of course, pre-designed, which is appeared that for many, many lifetimes on planet Earth, that specific human being, obviously in a form of a woman this life, but previously other form, assigned kind of accompanied by those specific species of aliens. So that was kind of fascinating. I do not know why the fascination lately is more than alien. I want to believe that it's a little bit more Hollywood, if you will, because you can see that how popular that movies, Independent Day, and you know, all those movies about alien. Clayton and I lately went to see The Arrival, which some other different type of aliens, for those of you that saw the movie, and they were able to establish communication and a language with them. So we do indeed, as we get kind of 21st century, there's more fascination about alien. But to me, assuming the channeling I got is right, obviously, as I said at the beginning, there's all kind of information, and I want to trust what I got over the years, that people are fearful, and I don't think there is a reason to be fearful, because we are protected as a species, and planet Earth was given to us by the Lord, meaning it's the human soul's planet, and therefore I never heard about any fighting about with any alien with you know, with fancy war spaceships. I just didn't hear that. So if you are one of those that is perhaps fearful, take my information. You can gather your own information, of course. Information is always good as long as you also rely about your own intuition, meaning if you read or hear me or anyone else and you immediately tell yourself that doesn't make sense to me, then it doesn't. Then move to someone else or back off of the topic altogether. But usually, whether I teach about alien or the soul path or life after death, I always make sure to tell people, when you listen, when you read something that is informational, something that is out there, obviously, that doesn't back up with facts, then you want to listen to the information, and you want to rely on your own intuitive feeling, which is the best, obviously, gauge to see if it's something that you can use or something that you can drop. But and information, of course, it's always good. And the main thing in today's webinar is I want to make sure that you, because again, there is fear sometimes. It just, I didn't got anything negative. And once again, having said that, it's not pleasant to be the abductee. It's easy for Mickey to say that, but I don't think I signed to be an abductee. So I'm comfortable going to bed at night, where an abductee would be obviously taken in the middle of the night for, but again, even that is indeed was pre-designed, and it was not hostile or force or just pluck specific, just human being randomly, because it is indeed agreed upon, if you will. So ease your mind. That and by the way, even when they do the abductees, of course they wipe the memory, which is designed like that, because that would be pretty difficult, to wake up in the morning and have the fear. Obviously, the fact that it's pre-designed doesn't mean it's not fearful. The fear of what's happened and continue life on planet Earth, which why very rare someone would be able to give really account of really very detailed as to what's happened, because it's designed to forget. Although some do, some remember, and even when they remember, you can tell that there is some sort of the fear is a little bit not as raw, of course. So what I'm trying to say, obviously, they try to help. They do what they need to do. They put the people back, and they help them as much as they can to kind of go on with their life on Earth, which is designed like that. So that's kind of nice, I guess, a good news. So Well, since today webinar is bizarre because I do not see any chat, I hope you enjoy those main information I provide for you. I hope that I'm recording myself and didn't talk to nothing. I just don't trust those webinars. I don't know. We're having a really hard time to find a reliable platform. A what? Service provider that will be able, which why we had numerous problems throughout last month and a few months ago. But I hope I did record it and I hope you like it. And look for the website and the newsletter, of course, for future webinars to come. I have some interesting subject that come in to try and teach you. And I hope you are well. Have a great Christmas and safe holidays. Enjoy yourself, your family, and I wish for you all the best. So take care. Bye.